be in the game. Seems like they're trying to wait to see what I'm gonna say so they can be like, ah, nigga, Wait, you better say what? We already see the title, nigga. What the fuck you finna talk about, man? Segregation. We don't know goddamn segregation. Why we need segregation for? Forgot this back in the 50s and shit, Moses couldn't even drink out of the same fountains and shit. Not saying that we wanted to, but we just wanted to show and prove that, hey, we just like, we all the same. Gets deep. At that time, we wasn't even experienced in crack cocaine yet like that. So, it's really deep. A lot of shit went down. We had to face our lower self. When Caucasian came in the game, boy, we had to face our lower self. You know, we helped them, we still had to face our lower self that we seen on an external level. But we came to a point, we had a relationship with these people, you know what I mean? We wish them the best, you know? It's like in a relationship. We really do. They get mad when we talk about breaking up from white folks. Niggas breaking up from who? Breaking up from white folks, man. They get mad at that, man. Nobody should really get mad at that. A lot of people are so-called fed up with niggas anyways, right? The foundational black American, the ninja. You know what I'm saying? The real knife. So, when niggas is talking about, you know, just leaving the American people alone, our land. We're now discovering that people, like, you know, niggas had land. They were aboriginal, indigenous to a certain land mass other than Africa. And in fact, there's a lot of niggas all over the world. But they try to make us all believe that we came from this one African person, which is, somebody has to be in on this whole little thing, because there's a lot of things going on in these lower heavens that was getting manifested on the earth plane into mortals, to getting mortals to believe a lot of lies. You know, false prophets came into the game. It's crazy, son. False prophets came and tried to tell you things. You know, false prophets try to get you to follow them in some sort of religious context. You know? People don't, they want to hear the truth, but when it gets a little deeper, you're dealing with celibacy. That's the only way you're going to really see the truth. And they know and understand that truth. People don't want to hear the celibacy part of spirituality. Why celibacy is important in this season. People don't, they're like, you know, I don't want to hear all that shit. You can get some pussy, you can get some pussy, right? I mean, I understand, you know, pussy is a beautiful thing. Sex is a cool thing too. But it gets to a point when you have sex too much, you'll just use sex in a gratification sense, meaning that you just objectify people, like how you doing porn. You know, people watch porn, they objectify people. They don't look at people as human beings, as light beings, you know, mortals. And so, not looking at people as such will bring, you know, a chaotic mindset. And now we're able to put that chaotic mindset, we can actually put a title on it, call it cluster B personality disorder. It's a mental and personality complex dealing with sociopaths, you know, narcissists, histrionics, I'm just going to straight off the top, and borderline personality. A lot of them could be a comorbid of a lot of different, you know, putting those together. And being that niggas were exposed to a sociopathic entity in the South, and we can see we have receipts in the history shows at the malicious extent and the so-called nature of this Caucasian that came into the land that we actually taught and had a lot of patience with. You know, they could see that the spirit of the man was definitely in America was definitely developed, and we have a lot of books that can show that. You know what I'm saying? That nigga was already standing on their own square. Anyhow, though, to get right to the title, man, it's like, yo, motherfuckers gotta get the fuck up off the land, people. And we're not finna play this whole little gaslighting, projecting game no more, man. You know what I mean? We're not playing this shit. We know motherfuckers is going through the sundown towns, and you know that you're picking on mugs, getting children at schools and colleges and shit, and murder, death, killing them. Then you gotta understand, you know what I mean? When you're dealing with murder, death, kill, these are dealing with individuals who want to, or these are dealing with spirits who's trying to build their heavenly kingdoms up, their false heavenly kingdoms up. They can only do that through murder, death, kill. But we're at a time where the ancestors taking all that shit back, so it's starting to happen very far and few in between. But at the same time, judgment is taking place in the atmosphere, or the first resurrection of heaven. So this is why the change of shit is going down right now. So now we're calling judgment for all the so-called white folks in the South. Every one of them gotta go, kid. Every one of them, because we know and understand they not from there, especially Mississippi. It took a nigga from Mississippi to come all the way out here to say that, because nobody is not standing to the front to be like, yo, you must leave from this place, man. You know how much blood you cause here, and you still sitting amongst us? Only way I can see and understand that you're fucked up is through the cluster B personality disorder. You need a narcissistic supply to treat bad and horrible. When I say horrible, I mean someone that make you feel good, taught you everything. Then we give a woman, then our mama give suckling to your baby, to your granddaddy, your grandpappy, everything. You couldn't even live. You needed crystalline silica-based elements to keep this carbon flimsy being alive. Hey y'all, what's happening? I said Santiago. Hey, what's happening, big dog? Hola. And this is not just a thing that just happened in America. It's happened to a lot of folks. But we're calling for judgment in the Amaru right now. Then it's going to trickle out. You know, it's only right because of the gaslighting and projection status of like, yo, niggas have done a certain thing. They've been evil and wicked and da-da-da-da. Just giving up to the 1950s, we wasn't even faced with crack cocaine yet. Or heroin like that to that point. Just on a small level. But our history, we know of it. We see that there were mummies that were buried with, you know, heroin and cocaine and weed. You know, these are crystals. These are crystalline. They know how to use them in its purest element. We got it dealing with us, we're chemical people. You know, they know there's only two sides of chemistry when you're dealing with a chemical people. Chemistry, chem meaning black and street means study. So they know how to study us. They know how to disrupt our interstitial fluids that we have within our own body, because there's only two interstitial fluids. How they be able to get all these damn parasites in us to get these downloads from these familiar spirits that we weren't familiar with. They have familiar spirits. This is a spiritual spirit. This is a spiritual thing. That's why you got to get celibacy right now. They don't want nobody talking about the celibacy aspect, because that brings fear. And you know, it's like, yo, you got to do something. That means you got to step up to the plate. Everyone in the world who's really called themselves serious about spirituality and soulful connection to the source, this is the only way. Because this is the way where you're not going to teeter back and forth of like, damn, you know, this is happening, holding out the phone and the camera to, you know, to dumb shit. Your light will be up so high, nobody won't be able to stand for it no more. This is why they get you when you're young, because they know when you're about 13, 14 years old, you damn near could be a killer at those ages. You is. They know. I have friends like that. You know what I'm saying? Got locked up for life. 25 years, got sentenced to 100 years. They ended up did the 20-something years, got out still looking fresh and young and shit, because they went in their teenage years and shit. So they know you're capable of defending yourself. It's just how they can molest your spirit and get your kundalini to drain by doing certain things that is very low vibratory, or eating the wrong foods, getting you to be other than your own self, your righteous self. So this is why we can call judgment out, because a lot of refinement is starting to take place. Refinement is what we use to showcase our power, the connection to the source, the creator. The power is the energy force and the magnetism, the ether that's present in all creation. In order to get to the truth, in this day and age, we got to use refinement, which is knowing how to use refinement is to remove the trash and filth that's in your mind, your body, your spirit, and your soul, and see when you really fed up. You can't, this ain't the time to be having sex, because the more you have sex and release with yourself, I don't care, because not too many men got that much access to chicks like that. You know what I'm saying? Unless they got a bust down or something. And even in that case, you're mixing in your kundalini with a lot of different people. This is a healing time right now. This is serious. You want to bring the kingdom down on earth to get the land back. So this is why we call them judgment on the people. And, you know, we're doing our part. We're calling judgment. You know, they have to leave. Oh yeah, they already know I'm in the game. I'm on their Wi-Fi, so they can fuck with it. You know what I mean? So anytime they switch the broadcast up, you know, it'll mess with the actual, you know, the algorithm. And they know this. Hey, Roberta, what's happening? Hope I said it right. Roberto, pardon me. And Roberto. Love. So, you know, and we're all facing this, what's going on in the world today, man. You know what I mean? So this is where we can call for a mass, you know, like, yo, y'all got to go. There's a lot of lands in the world that individuals can go. When you're dealing with a narcissist, like if you just give a prime example of being in a relationship with an abusive relationship with a man or a woman, you know, you kind of use their significant other as their own property if you're dealing with narcissism. So that means that in public, they look like they happy as hell. Put the mask on, and she know how to put the mask on and smile like, yeah, we just so lovey-dovey. Behind the scenes, I'm telling you, they're fighting like kangaroos, man. So it's the same thing you're dealing with the black folks in America, man, and the white folks at the same time and in the South. And we haven't really fought white folks in the South. We just really was, you know, we was at a certain stage of development that we was just turning the other cheek, basically. And just like, these motherfuckers can't be real. They can't be serious. It was like, yeah, nigga, they is serious. You know, you turn your back and you run from a motherfucker, hey, or you turn your back trying to leave a room, and that might trigger a narcissist, from the argument, that might trigger that narcissist or that psychopath to pull the strap out and shoot you from behind. We see a lot of that happening with the police, with the young kids trying to run away. You know, I seen a lot of dreams of that. I seen a dream before where brother got killed and it happened a few days, not too long later. He begged for his life, and they did it anyways. You know, it's like having it's like the weak mentality you trigger in them to make them want to do these things, you know? And it's why it's like, yo, they have to get the hell up, you know? It's like they want us to treat them how they treat us. They want us to go low on ourselves to get to a point. They don't want us to connect with the spiritual aspect of us. This is where spiritual nature comes in at, because they can run with the flesh world right now. We're bringing in the spiritual aspect or the soulful aspect. So that means we got to be celibate, not just fast from food, like celibate night, man. Every day is going to be great. You know, you're going to be fed up every day. You ain't got time to go to the cut and go release anything, man. You're going to be too relaxed the next day. You don't let all that light out. You're supposed to be aggressive. You ain't supposed to be, you know, just sitting in it. It's like, that's not that, man. You know what I'm saying? You done built up a defense mechanism. Look at the body. The body has defenses. It's not that we're not a warrior body. We're not going out and offending nature and making nature sick with our actual body. There's mugs in nature that you have a defense mechanism which you defend from things that actually come on to you. And nature all has this. So yeah, when we say mugs got to lead us off, that's really much the next stage. You know what I mean? Because there's too many things that happen in the sundown towns that went down. I mean, just children or young men that's going to college, trying to better themselves, man, that don't even deserve any of those things. The family don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. You know what I mean? But Most High use it as an example to show the heartlessness of these beings. He already said it in the Bible. You know, in the scripts, basically. They already said that they're not going to let up. You know? We're dealing with a cluster B personality disorder, a sociopath. You know, they will never change, people. Unless they have to change themselves. And to do that, they have to face the reality of the Creator. And that's a hard thing to do. And niggas is facing the reality of the Creator. And humbly coming back to the Creator, as said, it was going to be. We're stubborn people. Stiff-necked people. I haven't had surgery. I've got stiff-necked naturally. You know what I'm saying? But praise to the Most High and blessed to the Most High got me through the game, through the will, you know, through my ancestors. You know? So, as, you know what I'm saying, as far as like with the Safa, we really truly want peace. Segregation must take place. You know, we must not mix. It should be a crime for us to mix at this point. Most High already warned us not to mix. We gave everybody culture at the expense of our own self, our own blood, sweat, and tears. Nobody's paid us back as far as paid us and helped us. Most High is going to use us now, but they didn't do it during the process. You know, they've been fed a false narrative about niggas, man. We were violent and cruel instead of loving and kind and compassionate and loving one another, man. That's what we were. But when they separated the household, we really cracked down in the late 70s and the 80s. Where they took the man about to join and started a family at a real early age of like 13, 14 years old. He got two parents that's 13, 14 years old. And he talking about deadbeat dads. Man, this man 14, he don't know what the fuck going on. He's a boy still. And having sex. He tapped into the Kundalini too quick. But that's what we're gonna stop it now. We learn. So you're looking at us, we actually learning from our mistakes. Our new seeds, the rainbow children now, they know not to have no sex right now. They're getting into the game. They're starting to realize, like, yo, man, we're not going to do that too. Because why? You want to keep your power up, man. And I already know. A lot of us in our age, and it's still going on, because it's the different cycles and different seasons for different families who have been molested, who have to be that generational curse breaker. Is it you? You have to put an end to it. You have to repent and look at celibacy in order to be able to move forward in existence. If you will come to the conclusion that mothers is not deserving to be around you if they treat you in a certain way. It's like being in an abusive relationship and you don't understand how beautiful you truly are. You let this man slap the shit at you, or you let this chick go out here and just have sex with anybody or give her attention to all these males. You know, like that's just the way that's the way she can be, because she is a divine masculine and a feminine body. But if she's toxic, then that's gonna bring and hurt the whole connection. If you like it, then that's you. I'm not even gonna roll with it. Only you know if it's abusive or not to you. And why would you have chosen this type of relationship in the first place? You know, was you in an abusive relationship with your mother, your father? Who? It happens to a lot of us. Were you abandoned by, you know, your abandonment issues come from those or parents or care figures that weren't there emotionally for you? It happened to a lot of us as niggas. Our parents weren't there emotionally for us. They out there smoking crack. They emotionally got their psychological hijack now. Now we here spending for food every night. I don't remember eating food every goddamn night. On the first, maybe to the third, that's it. Maybe order some pizza. You know what I'm saying? Everything else, I'm outside. I got to get that food, go drink some water from the hydrant. Not even coming inside because my mom and them, they broken. And a lot of us had to grow up to that point. And to be my age, if you made it to this point, it means you had to go through, you know, the mom, your crack parents, your sisters, you know what I'm saying? Your friends getting murdered, best friends getting murdered, not seeing even 22 years old. Some of your friends seeing 22, got off, you know, everything. People going to prison that you knew when you were 6, 7 years old, going to prison for life, going to prison for 12 years, 13 years, you know, growing up in prison. You had experience, you're the example of that. Meanwhile, Most High, you know what I'm saying? It's not that, it gets deep. You get to this point, you know that it's a serious game, and Most High had the hand upon you. So you have something you got to be able to display and tell the folks to get us back into this rhythm, because you don't keep you around for nothing. You know what I mean? So this is why we all can cause this judgment in the South. Like we have to really call this judgment. Like, yo, man, sign a petition. All Caucasians got to get the hell out. At least Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama for sure. The other cities is kind of big, but Louisiana is the cradle, man. I got the poverty point on my arm. You know what I'm saying? With the feathers of my, you can't see it now because we got a little darker. With the Olmec head. This is years ago, man. I'm at the other part of the 40s. You know, Most High preserve me to be able to get the information to you, so that our youth will see that, yo, man, this is serious. And they'll be the first ones, the first generation. And we'll honor them. We'll have rituals and everything for breaking the whole spell, man. You know? The land gonna be blessed when it gets back to us, but we gotta repent, really get this celibacy thing, show it, not even give it a try, strive. But soon we should see the end to which man strive, yo. And that's where we at with it. That's why we could do it overnight if we get a mass amount of us to light all of us real quick. Yo, like call celibacy now for the next year, man. We're bringing in the year of the goat in the Chinese astrology. The year of the lamb, I happen to be the lamb or the goat in Chinese astrology. That's my sign in Chinese astrology, you know what I mean? So we happen to bring it in, man, and a lot of things can go down. A lot of things taking place. We got a lot of rumors of war, but yet it's not the end. Our connection to our Kundalini happens to mean dragon, so we got a lot of, you know, cosmic things happening with us, man. You know, that's why they want to cover the skies up for the birds. They chilling. It's coming through, man. Most High feeling it, you know. But call for them to lead us out, big, because we want peace, and we know that we can't exist in peace together. We want to play the sports. We can still exist and do sports with one another, you know, just to build and have recreation. You know, we have to have reps. It has to be a very fair thing, because we know and understand we're dealing with a cluster B personality disorder. They're sore losers at that point. You got to know and understand that they kind of want to lose against you. They just want to get your energy. It's almost like vampires. And it's kind of like sad that you have to tell a mother to be away from a person 6 feet, and in order to be able to exist in, you know, population, you know, or this sickness may go down. You have to damn near trick motherfuckers. Motherfuckers is nervous about that, to not be close to the nigga for free. You know, they'll pay hundreds of dollars to watch Jordan jump from the free throw line. You know what I mean? You can't see this nigga in person, like regularly walking down the street. To meet him, you might have to pay $1,000 a meet and greet type shit. And that's for a room of 1,000 people. So that's how valuable you truly is. They just got one of us and pulled us out and showed that, you know, the example to the world. This is another reason we calling for, we don't worry about the celebrities. They didn't invest in us. If they want to invest in some of us, as soon as we get our things, you know, we're starting to, they're looking at all our video, they're looking at all the chosen ones, they're like, damn, these niggas is really putting us, that's the Most High doing that. Meaning that we had to sit in no room together, but we had to be speculators and look at the big eye, little eye dude, or the bear god who sits in the eastern corner of the lodge under the eye of Ra type shit. Masonic shit. We didn't have to do all that. Most High linked this all together. And it's going to further dispel all the false prophets. I'm talking about anyone who came to the hood and saying anything that didn't tell us to get our Kundalini together and always wanted us to be a part of their commerce society. We don't need to be in part of their commerce society. Most High tells us we don't need that shit. I don't want nobody to say that they helped y'all. The only way they helped y'all is through the will of me. That's the great I am. And we use the enemy of the great I am as a footstool for you or us to get the things that we need. We may need the daggone protection of a motherfucking Korean army type shit. Shout out to my Koreans, man, who love niggas, man, because Koreans do like niggas. They fucks with niggas. You know, a lot of countries fuck with niggas, and we don't know it because we don't have a representative anymore. We have ones who infiltrated and got into our communities. This is another reason now we're being able to grow from this cluster B personality, so you be able to see and pinpoint when a nigga's on a certain heaven. Like, yo, nigga, you ain't even healed all the way yet, man. You'll know when a nigga done release and relapse if they living amongst you and they supposed to get at least, you know what I'm saying, 12 months up. You'll know it. The sadness will show right away. The sex don't lie, man. Kundalini ain't gonna lie. You see, if you around a bunch of motherfuckers that's around, that's 12 months and up, that's celibate, you'll notice how they are, how the energy is. If a mother don't relapse, their shame comes in, it sets in. It takes about 48 hours. We'll see it, we'll notice it. You'll know if you're playing with yourself. Because you're gonna call your own self on your own judgment because you got so high up on your Kundalini. So you're gonna repent right there, like, yeah. So this is why it's important for us to cultivate that relationship with the Most High through our heart. The heart is the vortex, not a pump. You know what I mean? So this is how we communicate. But anyhow, though, we're all gonna be on that one accord because we're definitely in the same book. How we can be able to get these motherfuckers from out the south, call them from out the south. Everything happened bad on every zone. So why would we have to do something serious and be like, yo, okay, we're coming for every sheriff here? Why I gotta say that? You know what I mean? So, see, I don't have to think about why would I have to think like that for? Instead of just saying, yo, we gotta be celibate. But it's like, yo, the sheriff let this shit happen, man. The sheriffs. So why we know the song and we talking about Bob Marley? I shot the sheriff, right? Bro, right, man. Sheriff Clark already know. Peace. You already know, G. I'm gonna add on to that though. But you know, the sheriff part is like, I ain't shoot the deputy and whatnot. But you gotta understand, one mother's gotta go through that and do that and get them about the. I ain't gotta do that. But Most High is on some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to think that way. I mean, it just letting you know that, nigga, I ain't on the earth plane, but this is the thing. This is what's going on. A mother done walk past me. They try to be disrespectful in my little area. I ain't gonna say I don't own it, but you know, if you sitting around, you know, you got Caucasians wanna walk down here, they don't see that where I'm at. I'm tucked in the cut. Mother wanna walk through here and get right over here and wanna be all extra, and I ain't have to do that slip. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like to glorify none of shit like that, because that happens a lot of times around me. And I'd be grateful for me to be in tune. You know what I mean? I'm not just saying that I don't wish nothing bad on nobody, but that just goes to show you, Most High, that's just an example of what's finna go down, see? It's really tight. All we gotta do for us, though, is get our Kundalini right, and we'll start connecting right in the exact game. We don't have to go hit the sheriff's office. But it's just letting you know, like, yo, y'all gonna keep going at the kids or the drivers that's driving through your towns and shit that may gotta get some gas, giving you some money. So now, because our false prophets told us we need to spend money with these motherfuckers, okay, I'm gonna give you some money and pass through your town. Ain't you happy? All money ain't good money, right? So you don't have to accept your money. It was already on that psychological reversal shit. So let's just go ahead and ride that shit out. It's called cluster B personality. And let them others ride it. You see that they little town, they didn't thrive because you don't have a supply source, which is niggas. And niggas is already self-sufficient on their own. We got the genes that show that, hey, everybody has a different talent. And we're gonna bring all of us together now with our different talents again. But this time, we're gonna link right back up with the Creator. And the way to do it, we didn't know the way before. It's through the Kundalini. This is how you repent and pay your tithes every month. So you get that light to the crown chakra, or that oil that you truly got, that oil, that anointing you got on the inside. It gets to the crown chakra, hits all these chakras, boom, boom, boom. Gets to the crown, crosses the vagus nerve in your brain, boom, you be lit. We all being lit. We walking around looking like little Jesus, just lit in the motherfucker with little halos and shit all over our head. Taking shrooms, barely eating food like that, but still ripped up. I don't even eat no goddamn on food. I'm finna eat later. You know what I'm saying? The daytime I just started taking protein shake, which is a vegetable protein shake. I ain't tripping, you know? Until we're able to have our own companies and everything to make our own shit, we gotta deal with them as far as like going to get certain nutrients. But when we get the land, it's a wrap, and they know and understand that. But we know to deal with them on a minimum level. Even with the clothes, oh yeah, we ain't gotta wear they certain clothes. I'm gonna have clothes for us to wear too. We'll have cotton too. And when we pick cotton now, we're gonna have the rings and the gold and all that on our wrist. Now we know why we wear this shit. Now we know. We're gonna showcase this, man. You know, Most High already shared that this is in you know, he did all scriptures all around the world. I'm talking about the Tao, the Tao, all that is connected to us. You know, it's not separate. It's dealing with the all spirit. So basically, everybody's gonna have their little time. All right, Thuggy Dove, I'm just trying to let me get your attention. I got y'all. You know what I mean? Everybody's gonna have their little time, and even wickedness can rule for a time being. But now, when babies get back online, that Kundalini get back up, that means we gotta honor it. You gotta tap into the spirit game. You think it's not real, it's real. They gang stalking the motherfuckers like it ain't shit, y'all. You know, they gang stalking all of us, really, because they see the spirit. They don't even know it. The spirits do. And they're getting their shit handed to them, man. So this is why we're like, yo, we're calling judgment. They have to leave the South. Why would you want to fight to be around someone you hate and the history that you got going on in the first damn? You know, they trying to fuck up the broadcast. But if you why don't you just pack up and go, man? You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to pack up and go. That's the whole thing. It's like my house, motherfucker. I let you in the house to stay. Now act like you're running the whole goddamn house. You know what I mean? It's like a chick that let your nigga live. You want to argue with her. This nigga got cluster B personality. You want to argue with the bitch. She's probably cool because, you know, most likely you ain't going to get with a chick that's another narcissist because she probably hurt your feelings too goddamn bad. This is why the two narcissists, they only can work things out. You know what I'm saying? They going to argue with each other. That's why you see a lot of shit going on with the relationships and the marriages and the so-called European you know, the Caucasian marriages and shit. You know what I mean? Even with the gay marriages, they going to argue too goddamn much. So we weren't like that. We may have disagreements and then we'll come to an agreement. But anyhow though, you don't like niggas that much and you got nigga fatigue, go get the fuck up out of America. Hey, there's a whole bunch of land. I'm looking up at the goddamn screen when I'm working out. I'm like, damn, they got shit in Greenland. They got little things where it's snow. That's nice. I would like to come visit y'all in the snow where you're at. You know what I'm saying? That's where you're supposed to be at, in the snow. And we see you when it's summertime or sometimes we want to experience some snow shit. I already did 35 winters, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't worried. I know and understand what 30-foot winter is like. And the motherfuckers that staying in the South, you really killing yourself to be in the South. You really can't even come outside for long periods of time. And it's humid in Mississippi, man. It be 97 degrees with 91% humidity, man. You can't even come outside and play. Nigga had to make an air conditioner so you can be able to breathe and exist around a nigga. That's how bad you want to be around a nigga, man. And that's like shows this cluster B personality that this nigga is your main validation source for your whole existence. Without a nigga, you ain't gonna be shit. And so we're at a point where niggas is breaking up. And we're seeing it, they're allowing their poor, their rich or whatever to do things to gaslight and project their insecurities on everybody, especially on all the niggas. And they're allowing certain people and certain cultures to act a certain way around a nigga. If you treat a certain niggas bad on the street, you security, but then you go back and you play the music of, Young Thug or some shit like that, and you bob into that shit, and you some type of security or police officer, but then you gonna pull over a nigga that look like Young Thug. You jealous of this nigga because he doesn't have a kid. You took everything from him, but he still look happy. This is why they upset. And it's like being in a relationship with an abusive, narcissistic, sociopath motherfucker. That's why you gotta get the hell up out of this shit. We're breaking up. It's over. Ain't no more. You don't need to hoover around and see what we're doing no more. You wanna see what we're doing? We over here made food a certain way. We took your bad food, nigga. We took all that shit. What? We don't need to fuck with you no more. Our land was blessed and is blessed. And it is ours. And it's been ours. And it's the promised land. You just came through for a season, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't think you're gonna die in our land and live in our heavens and shit and try to run shit. Man, we got ancestors that's been living in them heavens for thousands of years, dog. We'd allowed you to do it. We already got heaven set for your ass. That's getting a little bit more deeper. We got heaven set for your ass, nigga. So, it's like we got, man, it's going to be set for your ass because you got to get the hell up. Too much shit happen in sundown towns, big dog. And when I say too much, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about we can't even have recreation. I seen a clip where they show in Detroit. And the mug get mad walking through and talking to it. Like, y'all don't belong here. He just mad as a motherfucker. He got caught cheating or something, you know? And it's like, damn, nigga, how you gonna walk through our shit and gas and project your insecurities and shit on us, you know? And this is what these mugs been doing around the world. And they got their way into power through voting and shit, you know what I mean? So it was a choice for us. Now, the choice is yours, my NAGA. If you are you gonna stay and stand? I'm talking about in your heart. That's staying. You gotta come out of her in the mindset, in the emotional sense. You gotta stop validating things and enabling a weak narcissistic personality disorder. They gotta face themselves. It's self-sabotaging. That's what they'll do. That if you know to understand this personality disorder, which we're gonna lay on the table, these motherfuckers will self-sabotage like that. And Judah has to be in the top because that's the one with the most, that has the inspiration from the Most High Creator. We say the Lord, our Lord, which is the great I am, not just a being that's got a title and shit. You know, I'm talking about the truth for us. You know what I mean? When they say that to us, but for everybody else, the Lord is a title in it. God is a title for them. You know what I mean? But we natural, true, and living gods, you know, in the flesh, learning how to be gods that are governing worlds. When we come through situations like this, you have lower entities or lower life forms that want to rule mortals through their twisted, toxic cluster B personality disorder. Now you're here, you know, keep putting in cluster B, cluster B, cluster B. They hid that motherfucking in the books, the ICD-9 or ICD-10. So that right there, help alone. If any of the false prophets, they should have revealed that, but they didn't, because ICD-9 was already still talking about it. It's medical terminology. It's dealing with psychology now, you know. So they know and understand how to make codependent people, but they also know that we're from the Creator, that we are ever evolving, and that we use the sun to get us these downloads. We're like crystals and shit, and our DNA is like crystals. So when the sun hits at certain points, at certain solar maximums, it activates this type of information, these downloads, to be like, yo, maybe I shouldn't eat that no more. Maybe I should get in the sun a little bit more. Maybe I should eat these leafy greens because they silicon-based, basically. You know what I'm saying? They are crystals. I'm supposed to eat this. I'm supposed to eat this fruit, this liquid light. I'm supposed to eat all this shit. I ain't supposed to be eating no carbon-based and shit. I ain't 666. They 666, man. They get the fuck up out of here, man. You flimsy ass motherfucker. You can't even stand in the sun. You'll burn up just like a bush would because it's so goddamn hot out, cause a wildfire. Let these motherfuckers do that, man. Because they're gonna constantly do offensive things. You don't have to go out and be offensive. That's to get you to be that way. You're defensive. Just build your defense up more so. And the way your defense to be built up is through your kundalini. Keep wasting and keep busting them nuts. You ain't gonna be cool with the animals, spirit, nature, you know, all that. It's like, nigga, say God help those who help themselves. That means when we're saying God at that point, we're talking about like the great I am. Like you have the favor of that, and you start helping yourself. And so then now we all do this. We're actually calling for judgment. Like, yo, these monsters in the South, they have to leave because we don't understand your ancestors had to come here to the South to enslave someone. Even the newly ones who try to move down there, they can only visit like passport. Like, nigga, you can come and visit for like a month. Go about your day. We ain't gonna treat you bad either. You come to the juke joints and get the fried fish or whatever, get you the pigs to the fish house over there, or Valley Street and shit, and show you everything. You know what I mean? But yeah, you have to leave. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same way, man, because we have to heal. We're at a point where we have to heal, and it's kind of hard to heal amongst some abusive motherfucker that's always in your face. So it's like, man, you're in my house. I'm not in your house. I don't have to go nowhere. What the fuck? You got to get the hell up. We're going to find a place for your ass to go, but you can't be here in this motherfucker. I tell you that much. And so, with that being said, and it's not that, and they can be mad because they're being mad because you're being you. That's really what it is. Like, you be mad at the bitch for standing up for herself. Like, shut up, bitch, shut up. You mad at the bitch for standing up for herself and shit. You know what I'm saying? Now the bitch done learn how to catch the hand like, no more. No more. You told Harpo to beat me. But we serious though, man. We ain't dealing with you know, our shucking and jiving. You know, celebrities, they been doing what they do, but the shit shut down now. You know what I'm saying? We got a mug came in and shut all the shit down. It's like niggas looking at this as a negative thing, but if you're refined a little bit more, you start to see it. Like, oh, okay, damn, a lot of things going on. Federal government going down, you got the shutdown going on and shit. Mothers get mad about their little jobs. We're like, nigga, get another job. Nigga, get another job, nigga. Do something else. Maybe tap into your fucking to your gift, your talent that you was given or something, man. Fuck that shit. Let them motherfuckers be mad at that shit, nigga. They don't see niggas mad and crying and shit. They lost their job. What you want? Huh? You just one of those single long ass niggas and shit. You belong in this shit. Okay, that's how we gonna be. You like that? You can be your ass over there. You can't come over here. Cause when we over here, we doing hold the other shit, nigga. We ain't even broadcasting. We ain't letting the left hand over the right hand doing type shit over there. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're calling for. And also, it's like challenging, you know what I'm saying? I'm calling it the celibacy, challenging the LGBTQ community. Motherfuckers separate quick. It's like, yo, man, okay, well, let's do some spiritual shit, man, and let's just not have sex for about 14 months. And then if you start back having it, don't just jump back and go crazy into the game, man. You know, start realizing your spiritual ascension as you done been on that journey. Maybe you'll value the light and that sacredness a little bit more. You'll tap into your creativity and shit. You know what I mean? It's more than just sex. Because a lot of men who want to be women or want to have sex in the ass and all that, you know, you can start the car up from under the hood. You know, basically you can get fucked in the ass and have an orgasm, but it's not the way to do it. You know, you fuck around and have rectal cancer and shit. You can see the motherfucker got proud. They be like, yeah, 4 surgeries and shit. He done beat cancer 4 times. Like, god damn, yeah, you been getting fucked in the ass. Niggas been white boys been busting us, whoever been busting us all in your ass and shit, man. You know, and it's kind of crazy because that's what happens, and that's where those positive HIV tests come from, because semen is left all in the anal and shit. But you don't know it now because all they have to do is say it to you, because you know you got the cluster B personality disorder. You're a hypersexual motherfucker, borderline personality, which is a fucking psychopath, borderline psychopath. You know, you love sex. You probably been through some shit, touching, or born with this type of demonic spirit on you or whatever that you didn't choose to face, and you fuck around and be like, oh shit, I what? And then you just caused your own self to have an autoimmune deficiency. But that's the AIDS, not the acquired immune. You know, yeah, you acquired it, but it's auto. You done made yourself produce this old, you know, radical ass protein that lives in your body naturally, that exists and shit. You know what I'm saying? They know how to fuck with you psychologically. Now you got niggas want to do shit to themselves if they niggas and shit. Niggas, we know. If you, I've been in the land, I know all I know what niggas, we accept the good or bad, but we know already that shit ain't right and exact for us. If you got to go through that, then go ahead. That means it's something very special about your kundalini that you need to master about yourself. You need to be celibate this whole life type shit. Or you just can't have no seeds right now. Your lean right there, that's cool. You just grow to be a cold ass superhero in the spiritual realm, or some low vibratorial juges that's walking around enticing mortals upon transition, whichever order. But we're on the up and up over here, man. That's why we're getting these motherfuckers we can call them to get the hell up away from us so we can have our own school. We got our own history. Whatever they say, nope, they had a curriculum. Nope, we got mounds over here. Shout out to We Know the Truth. Now we got mounds with ancestors living, and then that's 9 feet tall and shit. You know, 10 feet tall. Even little bitty mugs that's 4 feet tall with the right still proportioned skeletons. Not a dwarf or anything. Ones who were able to still see spiritual knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, to see the equality of the universe. To understand spirituality, which is basically metaphysics and shit. Quantum physics. And so, yeah, we teaching that. That's why they gotta go. We don't need no kind of class. We ain't going to school. We don't need no type of, you know, our kids need to walk down the street at night, nigga, at all times. They would be going to country, man. When the lightning bugs don't even want to come out no more because these motherfuckers been out so motherfucking much, man. We're going to have to bring the lightning bugs back out in the south. That's why they gotta leave. Like, no, the lightning bugs like, I'm tired, man. Yeah, we used to play with lightning bugs when I was younger. I remember before I got on my journey, most high coming through. But before I got on my journey, I had to experience, you know, my journey in the South before I was able to go around the world. Like most high done put me in every hood. Then I understood. It's like a spiritual park type shit or whatever. You know, they made sure they hid me a little bit longer to get this type of information out because we weren't. And I'm not saying I'm like someone or whatever, you know what I mean? But it's just the fact that, this is something that we've been missing. They don't talk about the celibacy, you know, and you'll get a little bit more fed up with shit. You'll stop doing things. You'll stop doing a lot of things to get more serious. It's happening now. It's trickling out into the rest of our family now. Even with one of us doing it, it don't matter. Shit, Most High got us like this, man. You know. Peace. Yeah, I think we can do it. Shout out to Shell Clock, man. Yo, I was gonna say shout out to the people who actually sent some bread to me too. I meant to say this a lot of times. I don't want to seem like I'm just a greedy dude because I'm outside. So it's like to get this type of information back out. It's like, okay, I'm not living in a mansion or nothing like that, and I'm not mad. And these must know because they talk to me. These motherfuckers rolling up in Porsches and shit like that. Like I just rolled out of a house. Like I just came out the house my goddamn self, and I'm walking down the street like. They like, yo, they want to have come like, yo, man, I ain't even been inside nowhere. You understand? I wake up, I look up, I see Orion. I know when it's time to get up and shit. I'm like, oh, Orion's right there. It's like 4 in the morning. About that damn time type shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting the breath, and sometimes it ain't always pretty. It be raining too. Yeah, you got to deal with them trying to do, you know, chemtrails and shit. They know what the NAGA doing, man. You know what I'm saying? But yo, like I say, shout out to all the allies that are secret with us. You know, I met a lot of different nationalities. I met some Russians, man, and they were not like everybody else. You know, they're some down mugs, and I realized who they are. They doing their side, they doing their thing. The Koreans doing their thing too. You know what I mean? Like China's doing their thing too. I can't really hate. They remember the media they just turn everybody against everybody and shit. This against them and this against them. But when we all meet, they like, dude, I'm sitting there holding a bird, and Chinese man come through like, damn. You know, he never even seen a nigga, but he could speak English and shit. But he's sitting there like, damn, this is fucking crazy. I'm sitting the dog putting it in there. He's like, you, man, he is so happy to meet a nigga and shit. You know what I mean? They see we got a different bop that we really ain't, you know, horrible. And I see a lot of that on the internet. So it's like, yo, man, yeah, boy, they something else, boy. But there's a place I'm pretty sure. I heard Greenland and a couple other places. You know, you can have fun, man. Y'all have fun. You know, heal yourself, man. Go and do them snow like that, man. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. But they pretty cool. Me, the other, you know, or the white people, you know, the ones who have a nationality, man, they don't really come fuck with us and stuff. They doing what they do. But I know some of them is split in countries in Africa, but they ain't really have nothing too much to do with us. When the French left, and you know, we were supposed to have, you know, the land of the Great Louisiana Purchase and stuff, that's supposed to be all ours, but then, you know, America came in and they kind of did what they did because, you know, they teamed up with some other motherfuckers and shit too. So some tight things been going on, but for the most part, it's like, yo, everyone else I met that's like from like Switzerland and shit like that, they've been pretty chill with me. I ain't got nothing really much to offer them, but I think I don't know what's going on behind the scene, but it's a personal thing. They don't outright just say nigga. I think I made it. Boy, they trying, boy. But yeah, they offer food and stuff like that. Yeah, and it'd be great in a certain sense. You know, if you're just grateful for what you get, like money is just different. You know, it depends where you're buying from when you get the money. So most guys trying to range this out where you're not really buying from a certain culture or, you know, nationality or whatever you want to call it. Things are gonna be given, so you can be able to employ. It's not like working for you, my nigga. It's like, you know, when they work for a nigga, it's like y'all working with each other. It's like fun. It's cool to go to work then, you know what I mean? But I've been working for, you know, I worked with the big corporation, shit like that. And like I say, and I've been through the small man. And as I grew through my work experience, I knew that just whatever I'm gonna learn, I took that type of job instead of just working just to be working and giving my time up. You know, I had to at least learn what the fuck I'm gonna do. If I did door-to-door sales, I'm like, yo, I may be selling something that I may create later or something like that. So let me learn and get this under my belt. You know, because we're at a time now we can actually not go to the big pharma corp type shit or whatever you want to call it. We don't have to do that no more. Really, too tough. I mean, Walmart is like the last. But once we come together on this light, and I say because I had to put in that D note from the universe and shit. You had to bring that in, channel that in. We'll be at an agreement at this point. Now we can be able to order the products our own self, wholesale, and make some creative shit on our own. Now we're shit out from the land that we have, because now they seeing us. And all the white folks I'm talking about that's in America, when they get to their little area, they ain't gonna forget us. They still want to have a culture to be connected to us, so they can only watch us on TV. Right now they're spoiled and they can walk right up to us. You ever seen that before? A motherfucker walk right up to. All right, I guess I am gonna wrap it up, man. They just really try to fuck up the broadcast. They just scribbled it out. But love for the bros who tapped into the game, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is where it's at, man. We don't really need too much on the business aspect. Get our light up, we'll start being honorable to one another, you know. You tap back in, you see what's up. So they hating on the live, man. I know, right? They is hating on the live, man. They hating on the live. They is. But it's all good though. It's gravy. But I'm gonna give them. So yeah, we building real good out here. They talking about some non-things. We got the sun popping off. You know what I'm saying? They know. Alright, so boom. I'm wrapping it up, y'all. And then young, I love you. I love you. Let me make sure the phone is wiped off a little bit more because I'm trying to just finish up. I gotta charge my joint up real fast. So we got thuggy doves over there. Y'all see the thugs? Y'all see the thugs? Come here, baby. Come here. Come here, baby. What's happening? Ain't gonna give me 5 or nothing like that? They just gonna just, hey, that's what's up. That's my baby. I don't know if you've seen my baby jump through. Yeah, man. That's it. We're gonna wrap it up, man. I had to see if I could find a way to get back online real fast, so they think they could just, mix up the whole little live and just mess up the broadcast. But this might bring in somebody else from a whole nother part of the world. But yeah, just to stay on topic, that's what it is, man. I don't have to leave the South for to go heal and just be happy, and we can reunite back, or meet up later or something like that, because yes, a lot of things that have went down, a lot of murder, death, kills, a lot of just lies and shit that's went over, a lot of taking over of lands that the descendants of so-called Caucasians and white folks that's in the South benefited from, man. And it was set up in such a way where niggas couldn't even have no money. The generational wealth gap was super huge. So we had to go through a lot of shit. We had to go through a lot of things, man. And we gotta at least get those out of there so we can have our farms back and popping. Because as we see, certain areas, certain states have declared bankrupt because you have foreign workers coming to the land. Because maybe we got two sides that's going on in this government, you know what I'm saying? The ones who allow these foreign ones to come in, and another side that just like, we got our own businesses and we can make our own money, by sending our stuff abroad to people and not importing so much shit and further putting ourselves in debt, So we was already up on some money shit, but when you got people who X the niggas out dealing with their own, gardening, and not gardening, but their own farms, where they people were hiring people. We have to work for white folks in their land, but I'm just saying these people were hiring so-called illegals and shit. And a lot of things is going on, man. A lot of things were going on, and the illegals so-called treated niggas a certain way in the South, or wherever they at, wherever they got hired at, wherever warehouse or whatever. It's almost like kind of shitting on the nigga a little bit, And we was just coming to work. Maybe try to outwork a nigga too fast. They work faster than fast and shit. They ain't sending a nigga that nigga keep up. Like, nigga, what's up, nigga? Make y'all get behind and shit. Or make the so-called, immigrants or whatnot get behind. But then they put immigrants in charge of the jobs with the, in charge of the jobs. When I'm talking about, and I'm not mad. I thought we was gonna be on and shit when they put them in charge of the jobs. Which is like, yo, man, shit, you gonna hire a brother now? You know what I'm saying? Can I get in? I'm talking about the job like the temp jobs, the good jobs, where you can just go out there at a time and make, $5 more than what the minimum wage was at the time. But niggas were getting X'd out of that. So we didn't have no way. Like, we going to a temp agency and it's full of just Mexicans. It's nothing but Espanol. Do you habla Espanol? Un poquito. You know what I'm saying? You still can't get on the job because it's like they have a way where you're sitting down and eat. Y'all don't all sit together. It's this total difference, man. It may be one or two of y'all, one or two niggas that gotta work, and it's like 20 Mexicans, man. And I'm not mad. I thought we was gonna be in there like family, like, yo, man, my niggas is gonna look out for a nigga, but it's not that way. They allowed a lot of them things to go down, and it kind of just created a big divide amongst us. That's why everybody got to go back to their home plate. If you got a nationality home and you got like a place to go to, why don't you just go there and let everybody heal for a second? That's all. If you got a home, like I say, Mexico, beautiful place. If niggas was from Mexico, which we really are, like if niggas was, we'll go home. You know what I'm saying? It's just beautiful. Wouldn't even be fighting and kicking about that shit. I guess it's about the money. Everybody's getting mad about how their own government treat them. But niggas will treat each other good. That's why we're trying to have our own shit. But it's like, niggas to unite. So if you got your own home, go back to that for a little season and let's just be cool, because don't nobody really want war. But at the same time, it's something about niggas not having their own. It's like, long as we can make sure that they don't have their spirit right, their mind right, their emotions right, and their money, we good. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, we got to get our mind right, spirit right, emotions right, and our money right. We fucking around and make our own currency. Ain't gonna be the only Michael Jordan. Ain't gonna be the only Michael Jackson. That was just one that Most High used for them, so they could see. There's gonna be one that's even better. All right. So with that being said, I love y'all, man. I'm gonna go ahead and jump off of here to the next one.